Hi, everybody. I'm here with Brian Fink, and we're talking recruiter enablement. So, Brian, thank you for joining me today. Give us a quick introduction to you to start.
Hey, my name is Brian Fink. I am a talent acquisition partner at McAfee Security. We help protect the internet. We help keep families and individuals safe when they're browsing online. When I am not finding awesome people to join our team at McAfee, I'm busy writing books like Talk Tech to Me, I'm closing in on having sold 5,000 copies of this book. I'm really excited, Adam, uh, about the effect that I can have on candidates, but also the effect that I can have on recruiters, right? So let's get to it, my man. Let's get to it.
All right. Well, first of all, let's talk about the book. Talk Tech to Me. Give us the synopsis. What are people going to learn when they buy it? Let's try and sell some more copies.
Okay, so let's break it down so everybody can follow. This is going to be a book that gives you two things: competency and confidence. Competency that you can talk about all the things that I have done in my technical career, or I should say, in my career recruiting technical talent. When I was thrown into the deep end of the pool, I did not know how to swim. This is meant to be your water wings or your floaty to make sure that you can float in the river that is talking tech to candidates.
Yeah.
So that is the first part about competency. But confidence is that throughout the book, and people have made mention of this to me, they really appreciate the fact that I kind of give a rah-rah speech to rally the troops. I think that right now that it's important to optimize what we're doing and to scale who we are as a discipline, and so that we can make sure that the unsung heroes that are fighting in the trenches of talent acquisition, that they've really got the weapons that they need to succeed in the talent wars. Cool.
I mean, this is a perfect example of recruiter enablement. You are reminding me of my friends at TA Guru who have created a product and service where new recruiter or recruiter going from I'm recruiting tech, but I'm today somebody's asked me to hire a treasury person. They go on to TA Guru and find out like what's treasury all about. Help me to understand it. How do I talk to treasury candidates? What's the important issues? What are good questions that I need to ask? And they can get back from TA Guru some great ways of being able to approach recruiting treasury people or something like that. What you've done is you've created like the Bible for somebody's gone into tech recruiting. Here's how you do it. And this is like 25 years of Brian's experience doing it. Is that right?
Wow, it's only 20 years experience. Don't give me 25. Like you're making
Sorry.
you're making me older than Steve Levy gives me credit for being.
So, recruiter enablement. Um, it's about, to me, it's about, there's a lot of different aspects to it, but let's start with that learning bit. How should we be training our recruiters to be able to do a great job?
Well, I think we have to step back for a minute and say, what is recruiter enablement? Personally,
Yeah, yeah, sure.
um, about the training aspect of it, I think recruiter enablement is kind of like the back end infrastructure for the talent industry. It's those tools, those processes, those strategies um, that are designed to really be the superpower that amp up what we're doing, right? Like we wouldn't send soldiers into battle without armor. So why would you send recruiters out to recruit technical talent without this kind of weapon, if you will, in their arsenal? This is an impetus where we've got to create a manifold, a way to do things where we give people certain guardrails so that they can train on that optimization of delivery, so that they can scale their business, so they can scale what they're doing. We want to make sure that recruiters are operating with the digital, instead of operating with the digital equivalent of a horse and buggy. We want to make sure that they are fired up driving the Tesla of talent acquisition, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are some of the things that companies need to be doing to make sure that recruiters have the skills they need and the knowledge they need?
So I think it goes back to continual training
Yeah,
and training on the tools that they have, right?
yeah,
Glenn Cathy, if I can shout him out, and I guess I just did, is that Glenn Cathy, when I met him the first time, I asked him, what do I need to know as a recruiter? And he said, you need to know three tools really, really well. And I think that that speaks to enablement about agility and scale, because it's not just about using big data or big data analytics or machine learning right now to find the right candidates, or deploying AI for interview scheduling, or leveraging social media channels for employer branding. It's pulling it together, and it's really understanding why you're doing what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's not just about finding the best talent. It's about creating an experience, if you will, that leaves the candidate dreaming of, you know, free and fresh cappuccinos at your Silicon Valley headquarters. I don't know, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's all about creating that it's all about creating that experience. So to put it bluntly, is that recruiter enablement to me isn't just a fancy buzzword. It's the difference between thriving and barely surviving. It's making sure that we invest in making sure that recruiters acknowledge the pivotal role that talent plays in the success matrix, and that they're effectively setting their sails to ride the hurricane force winds of the modern digital economy. So, in conclusion, if you're not thinking about recruiting enablement, if you're not thinking about how you're going to, what tools you have and how you're going to train on those tools, you're just leaving money on the table.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And the way you put it is poetical. So I want to talk about technology because that's something that I know you've got a big interest in. What are some of the recruiting technologies that are really important when it comes to enabling recruiters to do their jobs well?
I think it's table stakes, right? I think that one of the tools that's overlooked most often is a tool like Calendly or Schedule It Once, that
Yeah,
you're able to make things easy. And I think of the word facilitate, to make things easy, that you're able to do simple tasks that really reduce the burden that you have of going back and forth on email, and create a bespoke, or lead to a bespoke experience for your candidate, right? So they've got more of that white glove attribution, or the white glove attention that's put to them. So Adam, I think it's a good call out. It's a simple tool to put in the toolkit, that really speaks to saving recruiters time, saving them energy, and making for a better candidate experience. About other tools, I am a big believer in knowing Boolean. I realize that I'm probably growing a minority of voices that think that knowing Boolean is important, especially with all these great toolings that exist. But with Boolean search, I can say file type : PDF space resume space engineer space Java space Atlanta, and pull up resumes. And none of those enablement tools have done that to this point. So I say get close to Google. And then finally, I'm going to say something that is equally as unpopular as saying to lean into Boolean, and that is lean into LinkedIn, right? Make sure that you have a voice in the conversation. Make sure that you read the notes on how the platform works. I think that there are a lot of people who just aimlessly barrage people with a deluge of emails or in-mails, and they don't understand how they can be effective in that methodology, that it isn't just about in-mails. It's about content. It's about creating that employer branding piece, about creating that candidate environment component,
yeah,
and creating something that's truly bespoke and speaks to at scale to a small group of people. And I think it's that scale part that we get obsessed with, that we've got to do these crazy numbers, and we lose people in the process, Adam. Like, that's just simple, easy. And I think that's why recruiter enablement, that it's table stakes to focus on training for the tools that you're using, as opposed to just aimlessly shooting in the dark.
yeah, absolutely. Okay. One more I wanted to just ask you about because you mentioned a number of things in there that reminded me about the way that a lot of recruitment gets done. Moving candidates from one stage to the next stage involves a lot of writing. It didn't used to. When you and I started, it was almost all
My
voice.
notebook, my notebook.
It was almost all using our voice to talk to the hiring managers and to talk to the candidates. And today, um, we're writing emails, we're writing in mails, we're following up with people, we're doing objection handling, we're doing elevator pitches. And some of that is still using our voice. It's on teams like this or it's in person, but a lot of it is back and forth with text. How do we equip recruiters to be really influential, to be able to achieve influence with written words?
Okay, so I pontificate about this probably once every other week, or bi monthly. Is that
Yep.
I think recruiters need to be writers, right? Is that
Yes.
just try to write 250 characters. I didn't say 250 words. I said 250 characters. That's less than a tweet a day.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not asking you to be witty. I'm not asking you to be persuasive. I'm just asking you to write your thought down, right? Like, I'm a big iPhone user. I use Apple Notes. I take quick notes and what have you. I have a hot drop on the screen for that. Just write 250 characters. It doesn't have to be 250 words. You
Yeah.
can build towards that. I think
Yeah.
that's the magic number. And the thing, Adam, though, is as you become more comfortable with that 250 characters, you hear your own voice. And I think that sometimes we try to get in the heads of our candidates without getting out of our own heads. If we can put down what we think is important and we can communicate those ideas in a clear and concise manner, then anyone else will be able to read them and they will also be able to understand what we articulated.
I think that is an amazing piece of advice, because if you can't convey your point in 250 characters, your point isn't clear enough. And you're going to lose people if you have to write 250 words. So, I think that's a really, really great piece of advice for all of us to think about.
And the thing is that 250 characters can be simple. It can be, how are you doing? Question mark. I want you to have a great day. Adam, you're not like, I don't text you. I probably should text you, but like I send out messages to 50 people on LinkedIn a day that
Yeah.
are not in my candidate profile, where
Yeah.
I'm just wishing them to have a great Friday, to have a good Monday. I'm just trying to put something out there, right? Do that exercise.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 50 people. It could be 20 people a week, like Jesse Itzler suggests, right? So like just put a small message into the universe.
Yeah.
And also, don't talk compensation over text. Get on the phone and talk compensation person to person. I can't stress that enough. Like, do not. The only thing that should be bona fide as an offer letter is an offer letter, not a maybe this is an offer letter kind of thing.
Yeah. 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 I think that's an absolutely brilliant idea. Okay, Brian, we've covered quite a lot of things here. There's been tons of nuggets for people to take away and to go and make use of. Um, it's really great when I have a recruiting celebrity like you
I'm
on
not a
this
recruiting
show.
celebrity.
It's
I'm
what
a
you
recruiter.
are.
I'm a
You
recruiter
are.
like everybody else. I put my shoes on, my pants on, my skirt on, how like everybody else. Okay, so like yesterday was Halloween, so maybe I did wear a skirt, right? The reality of it is that Adam, one of the things and one of the reasons why I agreed to be a part of this is because I want to inspire recruiters to go from better to best. And I
Yes.
think that is what recruiter enablement is meant to do. Thank you for letting me have a space to talk to your audience in more than 250 characters. Real joy. What else can I answer? Anything else I can share?
Yeah. Well, let's do one. Let's do one more, which is around like just quickly back to the technology bit, because that's the bit that I'm most excited about. What are a couple of things that you're an early adopter. What are a couple of things that you've seen recently that you've gone, wow, that's going to really change things?
Ooh. Um,
Oh, can you tell us about your AI? Can you tell us about your AI program? What
oh
you're getting
shit, you heard
involved in it?
about that?
Well, you told me.
No,
Tell
no,
us
no.
more.
Okay, I was like, all right. So real quick about AI is that this I did not talk about. But like I think this is what you were alluding to is I've spoken with several people about taking the book and putting it into a large language model so that you can have a co-pilot that it acts as your recruiting co-pilot that helps you with some of the technical questions that you may feel. I'm working on doing that. I'm doing it with Llama 2, the Facebook program, so that I can make it easy and generalizable because I think everybody knows how to talk to Facebook.
Yep.
So I'm working on that. But also when we talk about enablement, at scale, my team at McAfee, we are working day and night to make sure that we protect people from LLM threats, and we're augmenting our data science team to make that even more powerful right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Big subject. Two or three things that recruiters should be doing right now with OpenAI or with Llama or with any of the others?
Okay, so Llama, you're gonna need your own like server, not server, but like your own laptop or something that you can put it
Yeah,
on. So not the work
yeah,
PC. Um,
yeah.
what I think that recruiters can do to upskill their skill set right now is that they can lean into communities and see what people are talking about, right? That's kind of a generalizable answer. But when they lean into these communities, they can find out that people are using Jasper AI to write marketing copy, or that they're using Dolly to create the artwork. Or my favorite AI tool right now is Canva. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that Canva/magic? If you go to it, you can make the most engaging PowerPoint presentations. And I'm looking forward to giving one of those in Dallas next week at Craig Fisher's TalentNet Live. I don't know if this will go before that, but if it
It
does,
will, yeah.
great, show up. You're going to want to be a part of it. Other tools that I really am enjoying using, I'm enjoying using Exact Buyer with Exact Chat. You can scale your messaging to specific individuals using Exact Chat. And I don't think anybody's talking about what Eden and his team at MIT have put together. This is really crazy shit.
Wow. Okay. Everybody needs to go and look at that. Exact chat?
Exact Buyer by Exact Chat. I mean, wait, Exact
Amazing.
Buyer is the company, and
Yeah.
Exact Chat is the feature inside of their application. Crazy shit.
Amazing. Okay. Brian, thank you very much for joining me today. It's been great to talk. See you again soon.
Awesome. Tip top. Thanks, Adam.